What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Cesar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. Everybody, thank you for being here. I'm grateful that you're here, and we all need to panic and sell our Bitcoin Cashes now before it's too late. No, that's not the truth. That's a lie. It's a horrible joke. It was. You know how I know it's not a good joke? Because nobody's laughing. Maybe you are. I don't know. But from a low point here to a high point here, we have gone right below our 382. This is a perfect area to turn around, right? We could go a little bit lower, absolutely we could, but generally speaking, on a strong move like this, you will bounce in your 382 area. Generally speaking, with the 382 itself, you don't bounce right off it. You can, but you know that happens often enough too. But generally speaking, you wick below it, and then you come back up to close the day above the 382. So it'd be really nice if Bitcoin Cash could do that. Now, if it doesn't do that, that doesn't mean that we're condemned to lower prices. It could close down here, and then 2 days from now, it could close up here. You know what I mean? And still, like, the same kind of idea. Once we close above the 382 again, that gives us hope that we're on our way to making higher highs compared to our relative range here. But just ideally speaking, with this kind of interaction, you would look for a wick below the 382 and a close above it, right? We might even close above the 382 today, and then tomorrow wick lower, and then come back up and close again. You know, something like that is fine as well. Who knows? We could be in some trouble. We might be in some bad situations here. I don't think we are, but I'm personally not worried about this drop. I'll tell you when I'll start to get worried is whenever we go below this price here at about 344. I want to see what the price on Binance would be if it's the same price. So yeah, 344 right there. So we don't have to go that low. This, you know, being an inverse head and shoulders, and I feel pretty confident that this is an inverse head and shoulders, it would allow for that low of a price, but no lower, right? And it's pretty damn symmetrical so far, right? We've got the highs coming in line, pretty on point. We've got the lows coming in line, pretty on point as well. But if we go lower, I suppose we could go slightly lower because these highs are slightly lower. Maybe we could stand to have some kind of slightly tilted, slanted inverse head and shoulders, oh so slightly. But I wouldn't think, I mean, if we go below like 340, I would think it's a busted pattern, and in which case we're probably going to go to lower lows, if not some kind of double bottom at the best case scenario, but likely lower lows. And we don't want to see that. So hopefully we turn around sooner than later. Let's look at this relative fib actually from a low point here to a high point. We're right at the 1618. Hey, look at that, man. That's nice right there. That's to a T right on that 1618. That's beautiful. Oh, so respected too. Wow. Yeah. Rejecting your 618. Okay. Broke through it, tore through it on the first attempt. Yeah, the first attempt down technically. Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, from the low here to the high. Yes. Hit your 886, rejected your 618, down to your 1272, rejected your 886, down to your 1618. It's beautiful. This could be the complete, yeah, that could be it, man. That really could be it. This could be the low. I'm going to call for it being the low right now. I'm going to call for it. I do think that it's okay if we go lower, but I'm going to call for it right here. We're at 352. 348.8 was the low. I'm going to call for it right now. Hopefully I can redeem myself on the fiasco of calling lows throughout this whole range and not getting this low properly, right? Every low that I called on this range was wrong, except for the one that actually was the low, right? Where I didn't call it the low. I thought we were going to go lower than that. So maybe I can get a little redemption on this. If it hit that like button for some redemption, man. I don't know, but if it's not the low, it's very near it, right? It might not be the exact low, but if it's not here, then it'll be right here, or not right there. It'll be, come on, man, right, like right there. So we're at the low, right? Whether that's it or it's not, we're basically at the low. But I'm very confident that we are at the low with that 1618 extension there, from a low point to a high point here, being right below the 382. Yeah, it looks good. Let's look at the 4 hour again. The 4 hour is in the oversold territory. That doesn't mean we have to be done going lower. We absolutely can go lower, but looking at this kind of trajectory of this downtrend itself, it does seem that we're at the base of this, so we could get moving up. And who knows, man? This could be the setup that we need, or the beginning of the setup that we need to break this downtrend and then finally start moving higher. And if we do that, if we do start moving higher, then we are looking to break out of this inverse head and shoulders very soon. There is one thing that that makes me believe that we might be in trouble and that we might be going lower is that the ETH ETFs did just get listed over the last 3 days. We did have the ETH ETFs being listed, and I hadn't heard about that. I don't know why. I've been watching the crypto medias. I didn't hear anybody say that the ETFs got listed. Maybe I just missed those videos. I don't know. I'm gonna go on YouTube right now. Let's just see. I'm gonna go. What would be the biggest? Oh, what's the biggest crypto channel's name? It's like Coin Bureau. Coin Bureau. Yeah. Coin Bureau. Where are we at? Coin Bureau. Let's see. And I'm going to make sure that that's muted. Okay, cool. Let's go to their videos. I'm just curious because if they didn't say it, then I'm going to be like, what the hell? ETH ETFs. Okay, so they did talk about it 2 days ago. 3 days ago is when the first ETF was promoted, though, so they didn't even put it out there. But it had been Ethereum ETF launch 1 day ago. Okay. So people have talked about it. At least, I mean, the biggest crypto account has talked about it. What about, I don't know, what's MM Crypto, another big one. Whether you like MM Crypto or not, they are a bigger account. Right, 574,000 subscribers. What do they got here? Bitcoin game over. Nothing about Ethereum. What about Carl from the Moon? What has he had to say here? Is it just Coin Bureau? Because I swear, man, I've watched a few YouTubers over the past few days. I keep up with the times. Nobody is talking about the ETH ETFs being approved. I wonder why. What about Ben Armstrong? Yeah. Would it be BitBoy Crypto? Is he still BitBoy? I mean, he calls himself BitBoy. V2. Yeah, Bitcoin Crypto V2. Videos. Nobody talking about the ETFs getting listed. Wow. It's kind of crazy. It's like it got listed in the dark almost. But Coin Bureau being the biggest crypto channel talking about it, I mean, it's not that in the dark, right? But anyways, being that the Ethereum ETF got listed, that's kind of the point that got me onto this, was that I was going to say that my bullish targets, my bullish kind of emphasis could be at risk here, because the last time we saw an ETF getting approved in crypto, we actually moved down for a couple weeks, right? Bitcoin's ETF was listed on this day here on January 11th. And actually, we can take a date and price range. January 11th this year, it moved down a total of 21.6% over the course of 12 days, okay? The Ethereum ETF, the earliest ETF that we have approved, is on Grayscale, through Grayscale, Ethereum ETF right here. It says trust, but it is their ETF, and it opened up 3 days ago. So I guess technically 4 days ago now, right? Because this is the 24th. We're on the 25th on the charts. But the only reason I'm bringing that up is that could be the one thing, the one bugaboo that is in the way of Bitcoin Cash going up, right? If Ethereum starts dropping more, it's possible, but not likely, that Bitcoin Cash moves up instead. But hopefully, regardless of what happens, maybe Ethereum does hold the line, maybe it doesn't continue to drop, in which case my Ethereum analysis and my Grayscale video was wrong. But hopefully we hold this area. Hopefully this inverse head and shoulders comes to fruition, and then we'll get that nice move all the way up to that 570, 590 area, man, up in this area over the coming weeks and days. I don't think it'll take this long. I think it would be sometime in August, probably mid-August or early August, that we saw those prices come about. Being that this is an inverse head and shoulders, at least right now, that's what it looks like. We've got, I would say here, right? Here we're still in the consolidation phase of this left shoulder at this day. So that's 15 days, right? 15 days there. Here, your head. So I would say here's when you're in the consolidation phase of that right shoulder, right? Because here you're out of it, just slightly out of it. So we're going to say this day here to the current time. That's 12 days. We have about 3 days left for this to be symmetrical with that, which would imply it's not likely. It's very not common. I've been saying this since like before we were up here, right? Since we were back over here. It's very uncommon for the right shoulder to be larger than the left shoulder. It happens, and if it is larger, it's barely larger, but it's not common. It's very uncommon, actually. So another way to invalidate this head and shoulders besides moving lower than this left, than basically like 340 would be if we haven't broken out by basically the 28th of this month. So we've got 4 days left to go. So, or I guess let's see, 1 day as in today, 2, 3, 4 days. Yeah, we got 4 days to go, man. So hopefully we can do that over the next 4 days. That's exciting. Hopefully we do move up. But if not, again, it kind of puts us in a crunch time scenario. We need to recover relatively immediately. I don't like the 4 hour, but it is at an area that we might find support, again, based off of the trend of the 4 hour. If you're looking at this as some kind of downward sloping trend line, we are kind of at the base of that in itself, right? Like quite literally, we're like right there. And maybe it's more like this. I don't know. It's not like well respected. There we go. It's kind of more respected. Maybe we go down even a little bit lower, and in which case, again, if this isn't the actual low, we could go just a little bit lower and still be fine. We don't actually have to touch this line. I think it doesn't have to be completely respected. After all, that low didn't touch it. If we want to move this line to where that low is incorporated there instead of these lows, then you are touching it now. So however you want to look at it, we're very close to the low point based on this trend line is all I'm trying to get at. It would make sense that we move up. Even if we move lower, it would make sense that we move up now. Hopefully when we move up, we get this move that by the 28th, we actually break out of this, right? If we were to just kind of move up like this, by the 28th, we would be back in our overbought zone. Perhaps we would be breaking out of this inverse head and shoulders. I'm going to call for that right now, man. I'm just going to call for that, plain and simple. Stick to the basics. Stick to what the chart is showing me. This is the low. We're going to break out in the next 4 days, and if I'm wrong on that, I'll eat that, right? I'm not just saying it to say that. I'm saying that because that is what makes the most sense to me. And if what makes sense doesn't come to fruition, that's okay. That happens, right? It's not about being right or wrong, but that is the call that I'm going with. I think we will break out of this inverse head and shoulders over the next 4 days. I think it's going to happen. It might happen in 4 days itself. If it doesn't happen in 4 days, maybe we could have 5 or 6 days maybe, but at that point you're pushing it. It's very uncommon that the right shoulder is larger. And going to the neckline, that would call for a move all the way up to 570, and that'd be the minimum kind of expected move there, right? The measure move from the low to the high. So that would be nice to see, man. That would be very nice to see. High to low here. That would break us right through the 61869. And if we break through this on the first attempt, this zone here becomes very likely between 922 and 1265, and potentially even beyond that. Anyways, I feel like I did a lot of talking. I feel like I didn't do too much analysis. I've given my thoughts, my expectations as to what we're going to do. And I don't think I have anything else I want to say, guys. So that's it. If you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. We need to hold the line. Let's go over this real quick, right? We are and have already broken the line on this chart, the BCH BTC chart. We might be going lower, right? From a low point here to a low point here. We are at that area, but we've broken through it as of today. We've actually pierced the veil. So that could be a fake out. That's a perfect look for a fake out right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if we close below this today and then maybe over the coming days we break back above it. Again, hopefully the scenario that plays out time and time again with these diagonal lines is that on your third attempt or your fourth attempt, you get these bounces that are lackluster compared to your first few attempts, right? Like you've got this incredible reaction on the first point, incredible reaction off the second point, and a very lackluster reaction off the third point where you would expect to hold it, but then it just kind of hovers. Oftentimes you do break, and then once you break, that's when people are like, oh no, it broke, things are bad, and then that's actually whenever you come back up. I've seen it happen dozens of times, tons of times, man. It happens all the time. It's like a psychological game. I don't know how else to put it, but if that doesn't happen, well, this could be bad, man. I definitely would not like to see us go below here. Things are still fine as long as we have a higher low. I don't like that we've broken through the trend already. It looks like a fake out as of now, but I do expect that we'll close below it today. We'll probably move a little bit lower, and that's okay. We just really don't want to see a lower low, because if we see a lower low here, then what this looks like is a double top. It's no longer got this ascending triangle look. It doesn't have this higher low with a flat top look. And then this grand idea of seeing the first uptrend versus Bitcoin ever that we've been anticipating really since like back here. we just go out the window. That'd be really sad, man. We'd have to rethink our dynamics with Bitcoin Cash, unfortunately. That's what it means. I know I had a couple of you, I didn't respond to the comments, but I saw some of them. One person was saying that I seemed serious or sad in yesterday's video, and I am, man. I very much am. This is not a good position to be in right now. We needed to hold the line. We didn't, and that's okay. It's not detrimental, but it's just, it doesn't look ideal. I'd rather go for what looks ideal. Now we really just need to not get a lower low, right? If that happens, because the reason why holding this line was such a big deal is it doesn't put this at risk. Now that we have broken that line, it puts this at risk. I don't like that at all. It hasn't been at risk this whole entire time since we formed low. It hasn't been at risk, but now it is. I hate that, because what that would mean if we get a lower low is that perhaps Bitcoin Cash does not perform as well versus BTC as we were hoping it would this cycle, and that would tarnish the whole idea of it going to 20K, even above 13K, right? Like that just wouldn't be good. So we're in that right now. We're in the doghouse right now with Bitcoin Cash. We need to see some life soon. It doesn't have to be right now. We've already broken the line. We can go a little bit lower. It's okay, but we don't want to go below that low. Sucks to suck sometimes, but hey, that's what we get, man. We call it the dragon for a reason, man. It is a squirrely, whirly beast. Dragons are not the friendliest things, and whether you're getting burned or not, if you're going for a ride on a dragon, riding on those scales, man, it's gonna leave you with an unpleasant, I don't know, feeling on your legs, I guess. I don't know, guys. It's not comfortable is what I'm trying to say. It's not comfortable. I definitely feel that right now. My legs are chapped. And anyways, that's all I got to say. If you guys like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Hopefully we get some kind of bullish turnaround like I was calling for, like I am calling for. We break out of this inverse head and shoulders on the USD pair in the next 4 days. And all of this worry is put behind us. We need to take flight soon. And that's all I got to say. Yeah, I don't know. Time will tell. See you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.